On 14th June 1950, Sabarimala's main temple, mandapam and storeroom were found to be destroyed by fire. There were 15 violent cut marks on the door leading to the temple, and the head of Lord Ayyappa's idol was broken and its left palm and fingers were separated with cut marks on its face and forehead. An axe was found at the spot of this incident. K. Keshav Menon, Deputy Inspector General of Police, Special Branch, Criminal Investigation Department, concluded that circumstantial evidence suggested it was a Christian conspiracy. The two most probable reasons which might have led the Christians to do this could have been the following. The area around the Sabarimala temple was regarded to be sacred by Hindus and considered to be Lord Ayyappa's garden, and the Hindus opposed the hunting of wild animals by Christians who lived at the base of the Sabarimala hill. People of all castes would come happily to Sabarimala without any sort of discrimination. This made the Christians jealous because they couldn't absorb the poorer Hindus into their religion, converting them to Christianity. 68 years later, another attack was made on the Sabarimala temple. This time, a systemized and intellectual one. On 28th September 2018, the Supreme Court of India overruled the age-old tradition of Sabarimala, allowing women of menstruating age to enter the shrine. While the female devotees of Lord Ayyappa have been protesting against this monstrous decision, let us have a look at the females who have tried to barge into the temple. Kavita Jakkala, a journalist. Rehana Fatima, a Muslim. Kanak Durga and Bindu, both backed by the CPIM, the same communist party which is ruling Kerala. Bindu is a Maoist activist and has criminal charges pending against her. What is common among all of them? None of them are Ayyappa devotees. Whereas the female Ayyappa devotees took part in the Ayyappa Jyoti, forming a 756 kilometer stretch to protest against the Supreme Court decision. Not only this, when the Supreme Court gave its 4:1 verdict on Sabarimala, out of the 5 people who formed the constitutional bench, the only person who differed with the majority view was a woman, Justice Indu Malhotra. Why? It is simply because the Sabarimala tradition is not a case of gender discrimination at all. Mainstream media has grilled into the minds of masses that the tradition is all about ban on women and women being impure during menstruation. The mainstream media didn't even show the atrocities that are being committed on the devotees. An Ayyappa devotee died of a skull injury by the CPIM workers. How many of you knew this? Instead, the masses believe it is the devotees who are the goons. The fact is, women are allowed in Sabarimala, but only those women who are capable of menstruation, that is, women who have reproductive capabilities, are not allowed. No, it is not because menstruating women are considered impure. If that was the case, the tradition should have banned women only during the 5 days that they menstruate. But it is not so. Instead, an age group of only menstruating women do not go into the shrine. So the right way to frame this entire thing is this. Since centuries, the female devotees of Lord Ayyappa, who happen to have reproductive capabilities, choose to stay away from the deity at Sabarimala unless they reach menopause or haven't reached puberty. But this thing has been entirely twisted, and every damn layman keeps repeating menstruating women are banned in Sabarimala. There are 140 temples of Lord Ayyappa in Kerala alone. Only the temple at Sabarimala has this particular tradition. Why? Because in Sabarimala, Lord Ayyappa is a celibate deity, that is, a Naistika Brahmachari. Not only a Brahmachari, a Naistika Brahmachari, which means eternal celibacy.
So here is a situation, or here is an instance where the institution is dedicated to a celibate deity. That's point number one.
You mean the deity is celibate?
The deity is celibate. There is absolutely no two ways about this particular fact that the deity's character is celibate. That is the nature of this particular deity.
So the deity of the Sabarimala Temple is a celibate deity.
Exactly. So for me, that particular framing of this question is important. The deity in the Sabarimala Temple is celibate. Therefore, the deity could have different forms in different temples, but at that particular temple, in that particular place, it has a celibate form. And that celibate form is given the name of Naishthika Brahmacharya, and in Sanskrit it simply means an eternal Brahmachari. Okay.
So the god or the deity is a Brahmachari in the temple of Sabarimala. That's your point
That's
number
the
one.
first point.
We have to understand that if you want to have this discussion cannot start unless and until we take a look at the basis, which is the tradition. And what is the tradition? Every temple has a tradition with respect to the mythology it subscribes to, the history that it subscribes to, from where the tradition flows. In this case, the deity of Sabarimala, Lord Ayyappa, has taken upon himself, at least that is the belief, the vow of Naisthika Brahmacharya, which means eternal Brahmacharya. Naisthika Brahmacharya is equally a tradition which is observed by a lot of sadhus who are not meant to come in touch with women at all, and this is not based on misogyny. There could be reciprocal rules with respect to women and their contact with men. It's not something that is entirely directed at women based on discrimination. This is the worst possible myth that somehow these people, the spin masters, have managed to put it out in public domain. The rules of that school of thought require that you do not come in contact with women who still have reproductive capabilities. Now they've twisted this entire argument, and since we are all adults here, I'll have to make this point. We've twisted this entire argument to say this is based on your hatred of or your stigma associated with menstruation. The argument has gone to that level. There are temples in this country which worship the physical process of menstruation. The Kamakhya temple. Who doesn't know this? Therefore, using one particular instance, and that too with truncated knowledge of the history of the particular temple, to bandy the entire institution and use it as the launch port for banding the entire community, I think needs to stop. This is the factual answer. I have not brought in emotion here.
A boys only school. Is it discrimination against women? A women's only college. Is it discrimination against men? A women's specific movie show. Is it discrimination against men? The traditional ladies' Sangeet in a Hindu wedding. Is it discrimination against men? Recently, a Japan's men-only island got a UNESCO World Heritage tag. Is that discrimination against women? Similarly, the exclusion of women in Sabarimala is not discrimination. It is just an innocent tradition.
Tell one truth today. Yeah, you can. Please, tell one truth today.
Yeah, you can.
See, all I'm begging is, I'm coming here from 10 years of age. Ayyappa is like I live for him. Don't destroy this, please. I'm begging you. All the ladies who want to come. Nobody is stopping. Come after 50. There's nothing wrong. See, you are fighting for 5 people. There are 10 crore people like me living for Ayyappa. And you people are spoiling that. See, Pinarayi and Vijayan saying it's a High Court order, Supreme Court order. Mullai Periyar, did he do that? He didn't uphold the Mullai Periyar thing for these people. But he is doing, for his own people, he is doing this harm. He has gone now to Middle East to beg money. We all will give 100 rupees per head. End of this season, Kerala would have had 10,000 crores for this flood relief. Can't you politicians see that? We are simple devotees. We are begging you, don't play with us, don't mess with this life. You have lots of other places to go play. Please don't do it here. Nobody is against women. Women are equal to us. This Irmudi is filled by my daughter, my wife, my mother. Everybody poured oil and send me. Poured ghee and send me here. I'm carrying that lady's wishes in my head. Everybody you see here in the head. Anna, veetla ungalku ella nerichudha anupnaga. Everybody has oil poured from the woman in the house. Can't you see these Ladies, please, I'm begging you. You are superior to us. Nature has given you more power than men. Don't stoop so low to men. And media, please, one truth a day, please try and speak. Please.
This tradition of Sabarimala is based on the specific Sthal Puran of that place. Listen to J. Sai Deepak's explanation of the same.
We don't understand the concept of a Sthala Puran. Sthala Puran is simply this. Every place has a certain tradition and it has a certain history which is captured in either in writing or in oral tradition.
So this is nothing to do with geographical boundaries, it is areas in the country.
No. Sthala Puran basically means the Puran that relates to that particular temple's history.
Okay.
So the temple is the reference to Sthala or Sthan,
okay,
and Puran is the history of that particular temple. Therefore, you have to ask yourself, did some man or some Brahmin sitting in some remote corner of the country suddenly decide to invent this particular practice and say, no, women have to be kept out? Or is he drawing support from a scripture? That's the question. The scripture that applies to this particular temple is called Bhutanatha Upakyanam. Half the people in this country, or half the people at least in most places, can't even pronounce this particular thing properly. In fact, in the court, most of the time I heard people calling it Nastika Brahmacharya when in fact it's Naishtika Brahmacharya. They turned it to atheistic brahmacharya. So that was the level of understanding and knowledge as far as this case is concerned. So the text is called Bhutanatha Upakyanam, which basically spells out the history of this particular temple, the origins of this particular temple, and the origins of the deity itself. Okay. So there is a discussion between a Devi who, according to the belief, continues to wait for Sabarimala Ayyappa to marry her.
Okay.
And he said, I am an eternal brahmachari, so I cannot marry you.
Yes.
And the day even one single new devotee, or rather the year in which one single new devotee fails to come to my temple, that will be the year that you marry me.
Okay.
Okay. So the tradition is that she is waiting for that particular year to happen.
Yes.
Okay. Now there's a decent chance that most people with their liberal, secular, modern values may say, no, this is just superstition. But who is to decide what is superstition and what is religion? Okay, that is for people who put faith in that particular system to decide.
You mean all the people who have faith in the Sabarimala temple who...
Exactly. Unless and until you have faith in that particular tradition, you can sit in your armchair and you can continue to poo-poo that particular tradition, but you have no skin in that particular game, you do not have a dog in that particular race. So as far as I am concerned, your opinion is just an opinion, it may not even be an informed opinion. In order for you to gain access to a particular institution or a particular club, so to speak, whatever you call it, you need to put faith in that you need to go by the rules of that particular game. So is the case with Sabarimala as well. I gave this example even in my written submissions, which is, let's say there is a Ganesh temple in Delhi. There is one in Sarojini Nagar and there is a Hanuman temple in CP. Somebody says, I have rights under Article 25(1) to worship this particular deity at a public place of worship in a manner I deem fit, in a manner I choose fit, and therefore, मैं भोग में अभी chicken चढ़ाऊंगा.
In Delhi.
In Delhi, he says this. Okay. Now here's the important aspect. Individual rights are with respect to your right to practice your faith.
Yes.
But when you enter a certain place which is public in nature, and where we treat a temple as the abode of the deity, therefore the rules of the deity kick in. His house, his rules, her house, her rules.
So we are going to the deity's house.
Exactly. So which is why we cited a certain Latin principle, which is Dharma Shasta, which means if it's my house, then my rules will apply. So as far as we are concerned, temple according to us is the abode of a living deity, as a consequence of which the rules of that particular place will be informed by the deity's wish, and there can be no two ways about this.
Why are the communists and the Abrahamic religions so damn adamant on destroying the tradition of Sabarimala? Simple. Sabarimala pilgrimage is the largest annual pilgrimage in the world, with about 17 million people visiting the shrine every year. Obviously, if the modern day Asurs attack this and win over this, it is a huge blow to us Hindus, and our backbone is broken. This is how civilizations are defeated. Today it is Sabarimala, tomorrow it will be something else. And this attack is not something new. This has been happening since 1,000 years. This is precisely how we Hindus have been limited to just the landmass that we are on currently. Yes, Hindus are in danger, and if we do not wake up now, we let them destroy us all. It is interesting that Lord Ayyappa is considered to be a symbol of unification of the Shaivites and the Vaishnavites. This time, Lord Ayyappa is uniting the Hindus of the south and the north to fight against the atrocities that are being committed against us. Wake up now or see our culture being vanished right in front of our eyes. Please share this video with as many people as possible to open their minds about the issue surrounding the Sabarimala Temple. Not only online, make sure you explain the issue to at least 5 people around.